Hi, Tano, Williams, 6262 Shaggy Park Drive. So, a little over 10 years ago, I was in here and I was asked a question when I thought about parking because I was opening a 50-seat restaurant. And at the time, when I looked at the landscape, there was Paxton's Works, Blue Chip Cookie, I think that was all there was down here. And I answered like, there's plenty of parking, you know. As time goes by, obviously the landscape has changed dramatically. And after the fire, my wife and I had a very tough decision because we were impacted as ones who leased the property. And the other ones were pretty much ownership, right? So there were a number of factors in our decision making to decide to come back. And then of course the decision to buy the property. But more importantly was a trust that the parking would be addressed. And I first of all want to say thank you so much for your efforts. And I 100% agree with moving forward with this. Thank you.
Thank you. Scott Gordon.
Good evening. Scott Gordon, 20 Greer Military, The Works. I would like to take it back a little bit farther to 2002 when Kevin Egan and his group purchased what is now Paxton's, and I acquired the building. And how that happened was I was on the bike trail and I ran into the city manager, and my wife and I were walking on the bike trail, and I said, God, what a shame that that cool building that we used to build floats in has fallen down. And Tom said, you want it? Because we've been trying to get somebody to take it for 17 years, and we can't get anybody to fix it. Kind of like what you run into with white pillars. So I didn't have any children at the time. I had a lot of time on my hands. So and I thought, you know what? I'm somewhat handy. I'm gonna turn this into a restaurant. And when I made that decision, I didn't make it lightly. Took at least a day to figure out, you know, how much is this going to cost? And the answer was everything I got, plus a whole lot more. So I put everything that I had into it, and I went to every bank around and was turned down by every single bank. I can list them all until I got to First Financial Bank. And First Financial Bank had a program, and Pam Gross knows this because she worked at First Financial Bank at that time, or with First Financial, and had connections there. So anyway, with using some financing tools, was able to raise a whole lot more capital that I could get this opened. But they would not sign it because I didn't have access to that building from the road, and I did not have any parking. So they were like, no deal. So I had to have the city manager of Loveland talk with my banker and assure them that they will always allow access to the building, that I will always be able to get into it, and that there's ample parking for employees and for customers. So that was in 2002. Now, of course, like Tano said, you know, things are growing. We had the fire, we've got the resurgence, and now we've got these big, beautiful buildings along with it. We've got new, great businesses coming in, right, you know, with the jewelers. But I can tell you right now, parking, we've grown too big, and we can't support it. So we're struggling. My sales have been pretty even for the last 10 years. And we're down about 20% this year. So going into the wintertime, when we lose money, it's like, okay, I'm starting to, you know, like, I don't like this feeling. When you were talking about putting the parking garage in, I was like, okay, all right, I see the shining light again that we're gonna, and that's usually the case. You know, you're always kind of behind with the infrastructure to get it. And that's just how it works. So I very much appreciate the effort that's been going in and seeing the need with the parking. And I think it'll make a lot of our longtime customers very happy. I know it will because I'm hearing it already, and it's not even out in the public forum. So especially some of the older folks, like my dad and folks. My dad came down on Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. and he turned around and went home. And he eats for free. So again, I thank you very much, and thanks to everybody else in this room, especially everybody that puts their blood, sweat, and tears into everything that we do down here, because I tell you what, compared to when we grew up as kids, and I was allowed to go on my bicycle as far as Normandy Swim Club, and I wasn't allowed to cross the river, because this was bad news down here. So now, everybody's coming to this side. So I can look at a whole lot of faces in this room that's made that happen. So thank you, everybody.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah, we are.